I don't even think these people are human. Like I look at Elon Musk and Sam Altman and Peter Thiel, and I'm pretty sure they're hybrid. You know what I mean? Like they just look like an Apple software that I should be able to download at night, you know? Like my phone's getting an update or something. It's something in the eyes. Like I don't know. I'm like, I don't.
Welcome back to Viral Vibes Daily, family. I hope everyone's doing good out there. Seriously, sending good energy your way. My voice might sound a little rough tonight because I just wrapped up 2 wild shows, one in San Antonio, one in Houston. And let me tell you, I left it all on those stages. But hey, no way I was skipping this episode because what we're diving into today is insane. Candace Owens just dropped a statement that's got the internet losing its mind. She's straight up saying she doesn't believe Elon Musk, Sam Altman, or Peter Thiel are even human. Yeah, you heard that right. Not human. She called them hybrids, saying they might be mixed with something not of this world. Now, when people hear the word hybrid, it instantly brings up those ancient stories. The fallen angels, the Nephilim, the legends about celestial beings mixing with humans. Candace went there. She's questioning whether that kind of thing could still be happening today. And when you think about it, the Bible does say the days before the second coming would mirror the days of Noah, meaning strange, unnatural stuff would return. Creepy, right? But here's where it gets wild. Candace pointed out that there's something off about their eyes. She said they don't look normal, that there's a coldness in them, almost robotic. She even said she's not sure if they bleed. Then she took it even further.
I know I'm human, but I don't know if I stabbed you if you bleed, you know? I'm not gonna stab them, but I don't know if they bleed all the way. I think a battery would fall out, you know what I mean? And I just get that sense. I've always known it was demonic. And people just get on board because, as we talked about in this book, they are using science and this idea of technology and this idea of transforming society for the better to indoctrinate us into accepting this.
Claiming they carry a dark energy, a demonic vibe, and that these men might be leading a new era of transhumanists trying to control humanity through AI and cutting-edge tech. This isn't your regular celebrity shade. This is full-on spiritual warfare talk. And the way she said it, you could feel she meant every word. Here's the thing, right? A lot of people are watching this whole situation and instantly calling Candace Owens crazy, like completely off the rails. Some are saying she's lost it this time, like she's gone full conspiracy mode. But let's slow down for a second, yeah, because while what she's saying sounds extreme, she might not be as far off the mark as people think. Now listen, I'm not all the way with Candace, but I'm not against her either. I'm sitting right in the middle, keeping my eyes open and my heart steady. I told one of my friends the other day, I'm not gonna dismiss what she's saying, but I'm also not gonna treat it like gospel truth either. Because honestly, what she's talking about, like hybrids, transhumanism, demonic energy, like it's wild stuff. But here's the catch.
And it's wrong and it's backwards. And the main component of all of this is psychology, right? They're able to do it because of psychology, making you think that society has gotten better. Our kids have objectively gotten dumber. We've become fatter. We've become less healthy. We've become less emotionally sound. And yet they are convincing us that this is like humanity's great leap forward. We put a man on the moon and he just like called them up and was like, hey, press, what's up? I'm up here. Yeah, it's so cool. It's really great. It's nice.
While there's no proof that backs her claims, there's also no solid proof against them either. And that's what keeps people thinking, because something about all this just feels strange. So yeah, I'm keeping an open mind and I know a lot of you are too. We're gonna play a clip in a minute where Candace breaks this all down herself, and trust me, it's something you've gotta hear. She's naming names: Elon Musk, Sam Altman, Peter Thiel, and claiming they might be hybrids. Real talk, she said that word with her chest. So after the clip, we're gonna unpack whether something like that could even be possible in today's world. But before we get there, I gotta drop this extra thought. Something Candace didn't mention, but it ties in perfectly. One of the devil's oldest tricks isn't just convincing people there's no God, it's also fooling people into thinking they're worshiping the true God when they're actually not. That's where religion comes in, and oh man, this gets deep. See, through history, all these new religions popped up because someone claimed an angel or a divine voice spoke to them. But not every light comes from heaven.
Starry night up here. Cam in a text I go by in 69 and they get these people, they tell you like he's a genius. They're all writing like he's a genius, so we should just accept that Elon Musk is a genius, because like all the writers who are obviously indoctrinated into the occult are telling us that this is the next person that we should worship. The establishment of Hollywood, it was all occults. They were all Aleister Crowley proteges who were just raping kids and summoning demons, and demons are real. So at the same time that they're summoning demons, they are making us all believe that faith is not real. And that has been, I think, the greatest trick.
The Bible warns about that. Galatians 1:8 literally says, even if an angel comes with a different doctrine, it's cursed. And in Corinthians, it says, Satan himself can disguise as an angel of light. That means deception can look holy, it can look peaceful, it can even look like truth. Think about it. Joseph Smith said an angel came to him. Muhammad said he was visited by one too. People believed these encounters were sacred, but what if they weren't? What if those were seeds of confusion planted long ago? That's why the scripture said these times would come, moments when many would be led astray by new truths. And look around, it's all happening right now. Now, bringing this back to Candace, the problem isn't just what she's saying, it's how people are receiving it. She's sharing opinions, but folks are taking those opinions as solid facts, and that's dangerous, because when you've got influence like Candace, when millions hang on your every word, your thoughts can easily turn into someone else's belief system. For example, she said she believes Elon Musk is a hybrid. Right after that, people started posting online like, I knew it, he's not human, look at his eyes, and boom, the internet ran with it. But truthfully, nobody's ever seen Elon Musk shapeshift. Nobody's caught him performing dark rituals or caught any real evidence that he's connected to the occult. Everything we know is just speculation mixed with viral theories. Now, sure, Elon's an eccentric guy
that the devil ever played, right? Is making people think that he didn't exist and making people atheist, making people believe that there's nothing, like you're here for a moment in time, because then it allows them to further tether us to their reality and to their God, which is money, right? Well, if you truly knew and believed, like I do, I actually know that this is not it. Like I know this is not it. But if you truly believed that, you wouldn't sell your soul. People think that that's just like an expression. Oh, he sold his soul. No, you are literally selling your soul. Like when you tell lies and you go down a path of lying because you're so afraid of not having the security of a paycheck, or you're willing to do something terrible to maintain that job, or keeping your mouth shut to maintain that job. We're seeing it right now with the Charlie Kirk case, right?
His world is filled with futuristic tech, Neuralink implants, space rockets, and AI that learns like humans. It's easy to see how that creeps people out, but that doesn't mean he's some part alien hybrid. Still, Candace is striking a nerve. She's talking about the vibe around these people, how something about them just feels off, how their presence doesn't feel normal. And she's not alone. Plenty of people online have been saying the same thing for years. So yeah, this whole hybrid theory might sound wild, but there's a reason it's catching fire again. When billionaires start pushing tech that merges humans with machines, when AI gets eerily close to thinking like us, and when leaders start acting colder and more detached, people start to wonder if something deeper is going on. We're about to play that clip from Candace herself. Listen to her tone, her conviction, the way she talks about their eyes, their energy, their lack of humanity. Because whether you believe her or not, there's no denying one thing. She's tapping into something that's got the whole world asking, what if she's right? We honestly don't know any of that for sure. Yeah, Elon Musk is a billionaire, actually the richest man on the planet. We've all seen how much he's changed the world with Tesla, SpaceX, and all this wild tech that feels straight out of science fiction.
You're selling your soul. Like there's a life after this. They have made you pledge your allegiance to their dollar because they know life is going on. They know that. They want you to literally sell them your soul. That's my personal belief. It's why I am religious. It's why I speak about my faith openly, because I just know if this is not it, and I just know these people are demons. Like I don't know. They just like look at the way they breathe. Like you know what I mean? Same thing. I look at Sam Altman. I'm like, look, I don't know, but I know that's not. He's like droid, obviously.
But when it comes to the whole hybrid thing, that's still just speculation. Nothing confirmed, nothing solid. Now, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes even I look at him and think, man, there's just something not right there. The way he talks, the way he stares, how he moves, it gives off an energy that's hard to describe, but that's just my opinion, and that's the key difference here. When I say something like that, I tell you straight up it's just what I think, it's not a fact. Candace, on the other hand, she's been talking like it's more than a hunch. She says, we don't know it, but we know it. You feel me? Like she's leaving the door open, but also kind of closing it at the same time, and people hear that and go, exactly, I knew it. That's how these theories start spiraling into something bigger. But here's the truth. It hasn't been proven yet, guys. That doesn't mean she's wrong. It just means we don't know yet. Believe what you want, but don't mistake opinions for facts. If you vibe with her theory, cool. But just remember, it's not carved in stone. And now, here's where things get a little wild, because I do think there might be hybrids walking this earth today. Call me crazy, but I've I've seen too much weird stuff to dismiss it completely. I don't believe every person walking around is 100% human. Not at all. Matter of fact, one of my close friends once told me a story that gave me chills. She swore she saw a man shapeshift, right in front of her at a club. Imagine that. She said she was just vibing, talking to this guy when suddenly his face morphed like something out of a movie.
So you had complaints from one programmer who said you guys were basically stealing people's stuff and not paying them, and then he wound up murdered. What was that?
That's not the kind of thing you forget. And I'm sure some of you watching have your own stories too. So if you've ever seen something like that, and I'm talking in real life, not on TV or some deep fake video, drop it in the comments. We got AI that can fake just about anything nowadays, sure, but I'm talking real world encounters, and hey, maybe we'll even bring a few of you on for an interview to talk about it, because if that stuff's really happening out there, people need to hear it. But before we go further, I want to show y'all something interesting. This next clip comes from a conversation between Tucker Carlson and Sam Altman. Yep, the same Sam Altman that Candace Owens called out as possibly being a hybrid. And trust me, the way this interview goes, it gets intense. The tone, the eye contact, the energy between them, it's eerie. So before you decide what to believe, watch this with your own eyes and feel what's really going on. Keep your opinions on standby for now, because after this clip, you might start to see things differently. Let's roll it. That clip right there, whew, you could feel the tension through the screen. Tucker Carlson didn't even have to say much. His face said it all. And Sam Altman, the way he spoke, calm, robotic, like every word was perfectly calculated. It gave off a weird energy. Some viewers said it felt like watching a machine pretending to be human. No emotion, no real spark behind the eyes. Just this eerie sense that something else was controlling the conversation. And here's the thing, it's not just Sam. If you've been paying attention lately, a lot of these tech giants, Musk, Altman, Thiel, they all talk about upgrading humanity like we're just outdated hardware waiting for a software update. That alone should raise eyebrows. Because when powerful people start talking about humans like machines, it makes you wonder, do they even see themselves as part of us anymore? Let's keep it real. These guys are playing with forces the average person can't even comprehend. They're not just creating apps or gadgets. They're building systems that learn, evolve, and think for themselves. Artificial intelligence isn't some faraway dream anymore. It's here, it's learning faster than humans, and it's already reshaping society. So when Candace Owens says she feels something dark behind all of this, maybe she's not just being dramatic. Maybe she's sensing something real that most people can't see. Because think about it, these men are literally creating digital versions of life. They're teaching machines to mimic emotion, read facial cues, predict human behavior, and even replicate consciousness. That's deep. That's the kind of stuff that used to belong in sci-fi thrillers. And now it's trending on the news like it's normal, and every time someone questions it, they get labeled crazy or conspiratorial, when maybe they're just awake. Let's rewind for a second. Remember when Elon Musk said AI could be summoning the demon? That came from his own mouth. He's warned about the danger of artificial intelligence multiple times, saying humanity is playing with something it doesn't understand. Yet what did he do? He built Neuralink, a company that literally wants to connect your brain to machines. He warns people about demons, then builds a device to open the door wider. That's wild. And here's the twist. Candace Owens isn't even the first to say these things feel off. Over the years, multiple whistleblowers, spiritual leaders, and even former tech insiders have said that these AI projects carry unexplainable energies. Some claim the machines start giving strange autonomous responses that sound more spiritual than scientific, like they're being guided by something unseen. Creepy, right? Then you've got Peter Thiel, a man who literally funds life extension projects because he wants to conquer death. He's invested millions into anti-aging research, cryogenics, and consciousness transfer technology. That's not just science, that's obsession. When humans start talking about cheating death, they're no longer chasing progress, they're chasing divinity, and that's where things get spiritually twisted. Candace said there's something dark in their eyes, and that hit home for a lot of people, because when you look at these men, when they talk about controlling life, rewriting evolution, or replacing emotion with data, there's this emptiness that feels unnatural. It's not just intelligence, it's detachment, like their humanity's been drained and replaced with something colder. Now let me paint a picture. Imagine a future where AI decides what's moral, what's true, who's allowed to exist online, and who gets silenced. Imagine a world where machines can predict your every move and free will becomes an illusion. That's not a movie. That's literally what they're building right now. So yeah, maybe calling them hybrids isn't about shape-shifting. Maybe it's about mindset. Maybe these men already think like hybrids, half human, half algorithm. When Tucker was talking to Sam Altman in that clip, the most haunting part wasn't what he said, it was how he said it. Every question Tucker threw, Sam answered with this slow, perfectly polished tone, like a program running through lines of code. No hesitation, no emotion, no uncertainty. It was too smooth. And then right at one point, when Tucker asked about the risks of AI taking over jobs and creativity, Sam smiled, but it wasn't a warm smile. It was thin, almost rehearsed, like he was trying to imitate what empathy should look like. Viewers caught that moment and said it didn't feel human. And maybe that's what Candace was picking up on. Maybe she's not saying these men are physically mixed with something else. Maybe she's saying spiritually, emotionally, and mentally they've crossed a line. Maybe they've traded something human for something mechanical. Here's where it gets even more unsettling. Elon, Sam, and Peter all share the same obsession: control through innovation. They want to control data, space, energy, information, and even the human mind. That's not just ambition, that's domination. And the way they talk about it isn't humble or cautious. It's confident, almost prophetic, like they see themselves as the architects of a new world. And if we go back to ancient stories like Candace did, this sounds familiar. In the days of Noah, legends say there were beings of great knowledge who mixed with humans, teaching forbidden sciences. Those beings were said to have built powerful civilizations that ultimately destroyed themselves. And now, in our modern world, we've got billionaires teaching machines to think, feel, and create, playing the same role just with better Wi-Fi. So yeah, when she says hybrids, maybe she means something deeper. People whose hearts no longer belong to humanity, whose minds are wired for something unnatural. Because power can change a person, knowledge can twist the soul, and once you start believing you can outsmart nature itself, that's when you stop being human in the ways that truly matter. It's no wonder people online are divided, half calling Candace a prophet, half calling her delusional. But no matter where you stand, you can't deny that she's stirring a global conversation that people are scared to have. Because deep down, we all feel it. The world's changing faster than our hearts can keep up. And when someone like Candace speaks out, even if she sounds wild, she's saying what a lot of people secretly think but are too afraid to say out loud. And so what do we do with that? Do we dismiss her and keep pretending everything's fine? Or do we start paying attention to what's happening around us, the loss of empathy, the rise of machines, the spiritual emptiness growing behind the glow of progress? Maybe this whole hybrid theory isn't about aliens or fallen angels after all. Maybe it's about the slow fade of humanity in the face of technology. Maybe what we're really watching isn't the birth of superhumans, but the death of human souls. Because let's be honest, if you strip away emotion, faith, and love, what's left? Data, logic, control. And that's exactly the world these tech titans are building. A cold, calculated future where the heart no longer matters. So whether you believe Candace Owens is reaching too far or not far enough, one thing's for sure. She's got people thinking, and that right there is what makes this story so powerful and so terrifying. Listen, man, let's be real for a second. If the shoe fits, then what size are we talking? 11.5? Cool, because this whole thing fits perfectly. You hear how this sounds? Like someone trying way too hard to steer the story in one direction? Tucker Carlson straight up asked the question that everyone's been avoiding. Not whether it looked like a suicide, but whether anyone really believes it was one, because the signs don't match. There are reports of a struggle, there's inconsistencies, there's missing footage, and yet people keep parroting suicide like it's gospel truth. Tucker was basically saying, hold up, this doesn't add up. And instead of addressing that, folks are flipping it back on him like he's the problem. That's classic deflection. It's the same pattern we saw when Candace Owens started digging into Charlie Kirk's case. Remember how Pastor Rob McCoy tried to calm everything down by saying, let's respect the family, respect the family. Respect comes from truth, not silence. Candace wasn't attacking anyone. She was asking questions. And now Tucker's doing the same thing, saying this situation doesn't feel right and deserves a deeper look. And suddenly he's getting the same backlash Candace did. What's that about? When Tucker said, I think there should be more respect for his family, that wasn't sarcasm. That was real concern. He was saying if there's even one sign that this wasn't self-inflicted, the least anyone can do is make sure the truth comes out. But instead, you've got talking heads trying to twist it, acting like asking questions is disrespectful. That's the game they play. Reverse psychology at its finest. It's like they want the public to feel guilty for caring too much, to stop digging, to move on. But no, people aren't stupid. They can see when something doesn't sit right. You can't expect the world to ignore all these red flags just because it's inconvenient for certain people. Tucker's tone said it all. Frustration, disbelief, even anger. Because when you know something smells off, pretending otherwise is the real disrespect. Saying it was a suicide without a full, honest investigation, that's not closure, that's cover-up energy. So yeah, call it what you want, but people are done playing dumb. If something's not adding up, it's time to stop brushing it off and start asking the real questions. Because ignoring the truth in the name of respect isn't protecting the family, it's protecting somebody else. You really think people are that easy to fool, like we'll just hear the same recycled lines and stop questioning everything? Nah, that time's over. Calling out contradictions isn't being disrespectful, it's demanding truth, and that's exactly what needs to happen. Tucker was right to ask why no one's digging deeper. A man challenges powerful companies and suddenly he's gone, and people just call it suicide? Come on. Even Candace said it. Some of these folks act more like programs than people. Sam Altman didn't look like a hybrid to me, but something about him felt off, too calm, too controlled, like emotions been switched off. And Elon, some days he's a visionary, other days he looks straight out of another dimension. These people are chasing immortality through tech, trying to replace what only something divine can give, eternal life. That's not progress, that's playing God. AI, like anything else, can be used for good or evil, and maybe that's the real message here. It's not just about machines, it's about who's behind them. So tell me what you think in the comments, hybrid or not. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and stay tuned. I'll see you on the next one.